Hey guys, I'm going to go quickly over some builds just so you guys can see what I've come up with and then how you guys can hopefully be better at PvP, enjoy it a little bit more, or just survive a little bit longer. I'm not going to be playing any PvP during this. This is mainly just the first video, just to get it out there, just to show you guys what uh, some Crusader perks are.
I have much to show. At
So
least
first
you are
build,
not
I'm going to go off
rash.
of right here. This is mainly a condemn focus build. Holy Banner, Lightning in a Bottle. It's going to focus on Conjuration of Light, just so that way you have that 6 seconds of invulnerability. A little Absorb Shield. This can be swapped out with a couple other perks, and I'll show you that in a different build. Falling Sword, you're just trying to proc damage, so you can deal as much as you can. Punish, you can change this out for Sacred. You can change Condemn, Blind if you don't want this here. And then you got this one right here. I forget what this one's called. Forgive me. Torrential Refrain, yes. That one right there, that's going to be the main focus of this build, just to show you kind of what it's capable of right here. Obviously, the training dummy is not PvP strifed, so the damage and everything that you're going to do does not translate to BG at all, but I do want to show you guys what it can do. If you see down here, you're not going to run this one in defender build, you're going to do this in the attacker, and I'll just proc everything real quick, just show you kind of the damage that you can do. And that's the whole point of this, is that you just run in, you're going to hit a couple 100,000 worth of damage, you have your shield up, get out of dodge. That's what this build is. You're not going to hit 9 million damage in PvP, but you can see I'm already there. Everything's reset. I can go run back in, hit him again. Again, you're not going to do 9 million, worth of damage, 5 million. By the time your shield is brought down, you're probably going to just do a couple 100,000. Anybody that is same res as you or lower, they're just going to get murdered.
I have much to show. At least you are not rash.
You need Viper's Bite and Curseling. Those are the two gems that are the main focus of this. Everything else can get swapped out. I've been messing with the Everlasting Torment on and off. If you have a different gem that you can put in there, by all means do it. I like it because you can get the Resonance, which will give you the buffs. Let's see. Probably don't even have any gems in it currently. Yeah. Which you get these, the secondary bonuses. And these right here, from what we can tell, they're not striped in BG. Same as when you do the Immortal fight, any Immortal, all the socketed bonuses is what can make the Immortal in ROE so powerful. Same thing applies in BG. The more rank 10s you have, whether it's a 1-star, 2-star, 5-star, is irrelevant, but the more rank 10s that you have and the secondary gems slotted will make your character more powerful. I by no means am in whale. As you can see in my secondary stats, I pretty well rounded. I don't focus on one area. I enjoy this game for PvE, not PvP. And I can never know what you're going to end up doing in the game in the future. The meta always changes. An update can come around and make anything that you've previously done irrelevant, or make something that you've done in the past that everybody laughed at can make you OP. There's no telling. This game is probably going to be completely different in a couple years anyways.
I have much
Okay.
to show. Caution is often wise.
This one right here. Let me make sure it's active. Okay, this is the one I was just showing you guys. Big thing is going to be Banquet of Eyes. You want a 6-piece Banquet, If you can, if not, at least a 4-piece banquet, but you want at least 2-piece urge. Minimum 2-piece urge. You can swap anything else out if you only have 4-piece. But definitely 6-piece banquet is key to this. You do want the beneficial effects, and you want the 15% bonus and the critical hit chance. I don't even have to worry about this because I use Arrow Keeper. You can swap out Arrow Keeper for different perks, and you don't have to use Holy Banner. You can swap that out, but I can tell you that Holy Banner hitting the critical hits, uh, if you read this right here, critical hits avoid being blocked. It will never block critical hits. So that's why I use Arrow Keeper, to ensure that everything's a critical hit. Granted, it doesn't do 200% damage, but at least I know that all my hits get through. And in BG, you're running through, get into a group of 5 or 6 players, especially with the Warden Paragon activated, you're just going to murder them. For this build, most of my PvP builds, I focus on life. I have been switching over to damage, just to get the quicker kills, and that does tend to pay off. So for most builds, you're going to want to focus obviously on armor, penetration, and damage. This build I just haven't swapped over.
I have much.
New
Caution
build
is
I've been
often
working on.
wise.
Actually, before I go to that, I'll just go to this, so that way you guys can see kind of what a lower res character can do. This is only 1600 res. I ran this in BG multiple times just to see if it was even viable. I had no problem surviving. I just couldn't kill anybody. That was the only problem. But with the way the BG matches based off your res and your HP, my HP is lower because my res is lower. It actually worked out pretty good. Mainly because of my secondary. So if you're trying to smurf, this is a great way to do it if you have the secondaries. This one is based all on pure block and armor. That's all that this does. Block, armor, survival. That's all that this does. Going through this pretty quick just so you guys can kind of see, because obviously you can pause the video whenever you want. This is a pure defense build. I don't suggest doing the 6-piece mount bank. It's just useless. Banquet of Eyes. Again, I love that set. It's a great set. And then 2-piece surges. Pretty much anything for Crusader, you're going to want 2-piece surge. All the skills, even the ones that do damage, it's considered for us a beneficial effect. Don't know why, it just is. I've tested it on every single one. A skill that lasts 4 seconds will last 6 seconds just because of a 2-piece surge. And it can do an extra 2-3 million in damage over a 9-second period. I've tested this multiple times. Always use a 2-piece surge.
I have much.
New build I've
At
been
least
working
you
on.
are
I call
not
this one
rash.
PvE bomb, or the pipe bomb. This one's kind of interesting. I'm still tweaking it. But the way that this one works is you don't have to spam all your attacks at once. This is not a horse build. This is for farming. It can translate into PvP, although I would not recommend it. You will be murdered. Again, it's based off a 6-piece banquet, 2-piece urge. Just, it's the way our skills are. You can use the other sets. Let's see. I don't have my other pet equipped, so I can't check anything. In my actually, I can check my
Another
stash here.
tale to unroll.
You
At
can
least you are not
use.
rash.
Where's my old one? Forgive me on this. You can use the Feasting Barons on a lot of our stuff. Where's the one I'm looking for? I've been trying it with Agments. Banquet of Eyes still deals more now that Agments has been kind of nerfed. I'll see if I can rebuild my Agment set and just show you guys how that one works. Works pretty good actually with the training dummy. So the way this one works is you just are running through, you're just hitting a skill, and then you're 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 just running through the mobs. You're just rotating through one skill at a time. And that's all you're doing, and you never stop. With the update, the pet picks up all the gear. It's non-stop, and I'll show that here in a second how this build works.
Another tale to one.
Then you got the
Caution
classic
is
horse
often
build.
wise.
Yeah, Consecration, Conjuration of Light, Drawn Quarter with Blessed Pebble. This right here is the central of any horse build. This combination right here. The Light Charger, recommend this horse now. It lasts 1 second longer, and with the way the cooldowns are, they haven't adjusted, so you can actually benefit from this and have a 1 second difference. Not sure if I have the gear equipped to show that, but I'll show you how I have it pretty close. When it comes to the shields, it doesn't really matter what you do for this. It's PvE. They can be blank. Like, you can take them off. It won't do nothing. This right here, Falling Sword, because it can be activated on the horse now. And then Sacred Fire. I mean, anything you throw in this is irrelevant. The shields are kind of just irrelevant. Do whatever you want. With the new Consecration and the new Falling Sword, they don't knock you off your horse. You're pretty much only using 3 sets. Only time I use Conjuration of Light is when I accidentally mess up and I get knocked off, lose my horse. Let's see. This build, again, 2-piece Urge. Primary attack damage. Your horse is considered primary attack damage. So this set will assist you. By all means, it's not needed. You can swap it out for Agments, which I personally do like. I do have a 6-piece now. Actually, I have all 8, so I'm trying to test this out, but I haven't gotten to it yet. But just to kind of show you where this set is at, you can see this is the only one that's really awakened. It's the only one that matters. This. Just running through, just hitting all your enemies. That's all you're doing. You're staying on the horse the whole time. See, I'm on the horse. I can still activate the skills. I'm not knocked off. The way my cooldowns are, still on the horse. If I switch from a light horse, there might be a second or 2 cooldown. But light horse is definitely the way to go. Or use the stun horse. PvE. I would use the light horse. You can switch this out. Conjuration of Light. You can switch it out for Holy Banner if you want, but you just won't use Arrow Keeper with this build. Just to show you on here, if you look at the top of the dummy, each one of those characters up at the top over here is an Ignite. That is constant DOT. Quick. I'll go to the realm. Most people aren't here these days. And I'll just show you guys kind of how the builds react real world scenario. So with the horse build, you just keep going and you let your ignition, just kill the enemies all the time, and you just never stop. Don't worry about a goblin. was trying to show you guys. This is all you did. And you just keep going. The enemies will die. You don't have to worry about it. I didn't kill them all, so they're not going to respawn. But that's how this build is. You just keep going and going and going, and you never stop. And you're only going to focus on 3 builds. Or the 3 skills, sorry. Wait for the skills to cool down. And now with the update, you don't get interrupted by using the consecration. It's even better to use the anointed brimstone. Show you guys the pipe bomb real quick. And you'll see why I call it the pipe bomb. Again, this is not, there's no horse. Still tweaking it. But the way this one works, keep going. Condemn is your main damage dealer. You gotta switch over to consecration. Just do that. And that's all you're doing. Let's see if I can get to where the enemies spawn again. So you'll notice that when the enemies do finally spawn, they're pretty much instantly dead. And that's the whole point of this build. They pop up and they die. Really nice. But you just never stop. Doesn't matter. I think I'm in Hell 5. Or Inferno 5. This works in all the Infernos. It's not really CR res dependent. But you're literally just a walking bomb. That's all you're doing. Condemn is going to be the most powerful. What makes this build so great is going to be the Viper Spike. All those ignitions and burns and poisons and everything is basically being activated right away with the Condemn. So you notice that when the Condemn is up, every mob that comes into this range will instantly explode the moment they spawn. Curse Sling, I just have it in there right now. Just was testing it out, trying to get the res up. And I was going to test this out in PvP. So I was trying to make it PvP ready. Got my Pebble. Again, for some reason, every Crusader, this is affected by it. All the skills are affected by this. Having it awakens, you get that 10% bonus with Condemned. Let's see, which one was this? This is going to be a 10% increase if you have it awakened. This is a 10% increase if it's awakened. And this is actually 10% damage increase. Everything with Condemned now got switched over to percentage of damage. There's nothing that makes it come faster. Falling Sword damage, this is also increased by 10% if you have this as an awakened slot. So when I get this to 10, Falling Sword will just murder even more. The trick with this build is, again, anything that does a curse, anything that's a timed explosion. Again, I've been messing with this just to make sure that lower res characters can use this. Not throwing any rank 5 stars, high rank. Bile is not as good as it used to be, I'll admit it. It used to be a lot better, but this will land on every single mob for the most part. You're hitting each mob about 4 times, you know, in half a second. This 4% chance will happen. I've seen it proc on almost every single mob, and then they spread it. And then Blood-Soaked Jade, while you're PvE farming, you're always going to get the bonus of the damage. In BG, you can still get this. Obviously, it's just striped at 60% or whatever it is. But this is one that I've been working on. It's actually pretty fun. Doesn't target the horse. Lets your party members keep up with you. I noticed that when I'm using my PvE build, my farming build on the horse, nobody can keep up with me. And it just throws the timing of drops and mobs way out of order, and the chains just get messed up. That's why usually when I recommend when satyrs farm and you're horse farming, just make sure you can kill everything and just have people auto follow you. With the new pet update, they still can't keep up with the horse, so you miss a lot of gear. With this setup with no horse, you don't miss any gear. Your pet will pick everything up. I think I've gone over that. This build right here, I just want to go over this. This one I thought was kind of funny. As you can see, I haven't used it in a while. But this was interesting. I was trying to find a way to counter wizards and everything like that. And people hiding in the back. And that's what this build is. It just throw everything into the back, you throw it on the idol, and then you can just run away. And you still got, you know, roughly a 5-second cooldown. Just keep that stuff on the idle, and you can hide in the back. You're lower res. You're not going to get any kills, but you will take down shields. You will activate their perks and stuff like that. If somebody has a Starfire or a Maw, you will take the damage. It's a cute little build. Go over this real quick so you can see which ones that they're all used. I'm not going to say that you're going to ever get MVP with this build. By all means, you will not. Unless you're playing it at 9k res and you're running different gems. But it is an interesting build, and it will keep people at bay, and you can hold the idol. But it just goes to show that it doesn't matter really what the rank of the gems are, how high your reso is. This one I just converted it over to pure defense, just on a whim. Tried it out. It was taking 2, 3, 7k players to kill me, but I never could kill them. I don't recommend this build running this many defensive gems and skills, but if you're lucky to get on defense and BG and you're just trying to prevent the idol from moving, this build actually works out pretty good. So the PvP condemn build that I was showing you guys, where it focused on the Viper Bite and everything, there's a different version of it that I've been working with. And it uses the shield charge where you get a 19% increased damage every time that you use the shield charge. Right up here. So for 3 seconds, you're doing 19% more damage, but again, it's still focused on the Condemn and Falling Sword. Falling Sword so they get out to the outer edge, and then Condemn when you get a little closer. Condemn is what kills the players. Falling Sword doesn't kill them. Falling Sword just activates their shields, and hopefully by the time you get in close with Condemn, you're killing them. Using the shield charge, and you can use the other one. I like this one because it sucks. The range that it sucks is a little, I would say probably about 20 pixels wider than the actual targeting window. It's a little bit wider than that. You can kind of see if I target here, I'm on top of the character, but if you look out to the rocks to the right, the effect will pull this far out. Wherever the gravity effect is, that's how far it pulls. So it's a really good range, really good skill. I believe 420 is the one that uses this one quite a bit, gets to the backside, or he uses the other skill, and he has great success with it. Again, it's not really that reso heavy. You don't have to use any of these that I'm using. You can use different ones. One star, rank 10s, they're OP. Everybody will have their own opinion. That's my opinion. My go-to one has been this one though. It's still based off of the Condemn. The only thing that I changed, though, if I saved it correctly, is the radius is increased. So it's the same as the other build, but now I get condemned in a little bit farther window. So between Falling Sword, I get a little bit closer, and BG, this condemn pretty much covers the whole lane. With urges, you can see it, the cooldown is just a couple of seconds. The only thing that really hurts us is the cooldown that they did. Conjuration of Light being 35 seconds in BG. It's kind of a BS nerf. I hope they revisit it after they gave everybody else a buff, because that is kind of the weakness right now. Is you just can't get out of dodge, you just can't survive. There's just too much CC in the game. That's basically it. I know a bunch of guys are trying to figure out what skills to use, what gems. I'll record a couple BGs. That way you guys can actually see it in action, and I'll try to get it uploaded. I'm still working on a couple other videos. This is kind of a test. Spur of the moment type deal. So, catch you all in game.